Welcome, class of 2020. My name is Finn Condren, and I am the senior class president for the Maricosta High School graduating class of 2020. This presentation is given to you, my classmates, in lieu of our commencement program. Today, you'll hear speeches from Shane Swartz, from me, from Dr. Dale, and from Mrs. Cochran, our school board president. We hope you are having a great experience today as you participate in our Cooper Field graduation experience. We want to thank the graduation planning group from the PTSA for their hours of service in planning today's events at Waller Stadium. Thank you also to the custodial crew and the security crew from Costa for their support today. Always, thanks to Kerry Jordahl for his work in setting up all the technical components you will see. Lastly, a big thank you to our senior class VP, Dr. Offrider. We appreciate all you have done for us, and especially today for calling all of our names at graduation. We will miss you. Now we are pleased to hear from senior speaker, Shane Swartz. Following Shane, Dr. Dale will address us.
This is a historic class. We have great minds, athletes, musicians, and we are also perhaps the most unlucky senior class ever. We won't be able to see our classmates anymore or pull a senior prank, and you all won't be able to see my dance moves at prom. Although, I guess that's a blessing in disguise. Of course, there are many other things that we never got the chance to do, which saddens me very deeply. Now I can finally understand what it's like to be a Knicks fan. In all seriousness, my message for you today is this: don't take a single moment of your life for granted. There's a story in The Alchemist where this king tells a little boy to carry a spoon of oil around his palace without spilling any. However, the boy is so fixated on his task that he doesn't take in the beauties of the palace. So the king sends him back and tells him to take in the wonders around him, and this time the boy does so, but he spills all the oil. The king sees this and says, "The secret of happiness lies in looking at all the wonders of the world and never forgetting the drops of oil on the spoon." It's important to follow our dreams, but also appreciate what we have in our lives. Think of all the people that have died from COVID-19. They didn't get the chance to say goodbye to their own families in person. Think of all the athletes that will never play the sport that they love again. Think of Kobe Bryant and how fast life can be taken away. My seniors and I didn't get to leave the way that we wanted to. We never got to have all of our last moments and say our goodbyes. But seniors, when you think back on your high school experience, I hope you remember all the good times. I hope you remember the relationships, the knowledge you gained, the life lessons you learned. And though you will remember the sadness you felt from losing your senior year, never forget what it taught you. Time goes by quickly and waits for no one. So fight for what you love and enjoy every moment while you still can. Thank you.
Welcome. I'd first like to thank Superintendent Dr. Matthews, Principal Dr. Dale, Vice Principal Dr. Offrider, Mrs. Bledsoe, Mrs. Grings, Ms. Hall, members of the school board, teachers, family, friends, and fellow graduates. And it's an honor to speak to all of you today. My name is Finn Condren, and I'm your 2020 Senior Class President. We were all born around the events of 9/11, and we graduated from kindergarten during the Great Recession of 2008. And 12 years later, here we are, graduating from high school in the midst of a global pandemic and a powerful movement to once and for all end racism. It's no wonder Oprah Winfrey said, "We are the chosen class for such a time as this, the class of 2020. We're not a class to be taken lightly. We're resilient, powerful, and passionate about so much, and Maricosta has helped to foster that in so many ways. I'll forever be grateful for the friendships, teachers, coaches, and faculty that made these past 4 years so incredible. That's why it was particularly hard to get that email back in early March telling us that we could not come back to school. I could not imagine that we would never be going back to school. Finishing high school while social distancing was not easy. Although we were apart, we were always still together. We have a special bond now, and the ability to appreciate everything we've had so much more. And maybe we have found through all of this that we can be better for each other because we've witnessed the worst. Sure, we all feel a bit robbed our senior year, but there are a few things that no one can take away. Memories, friendships, hope. These are just a few of the things we will take with us and look back on when we remember this chapter in our lives. And the ability to find joy and gratitude even on the darkest of days. So with this, I will end with something posted by Leslie Dwight that really resonated with me, and I hope it'll resonate with you. What if 2020 isn't canceled? What if 2020 is the year we've been waiting for? A year so uncomfortable, so painful, so scary, so raw that it finally forces us to grow. A year that screams so loud, finally awakening us from ignorant slumber. A year we finally accept a need for change. Declare change, work for change, become the change. A year we finally band together instead of pushing each other apart. 2020 isn't canceled, but rather the most important year of them all. Thank you.
Dear Mustang graduates of 2020, I cannot believe graduation day is finally here. And it is going to be so great to see you all today. The past 12 weeks have seemed like a lifetime. I've been on campus at some point nearly every day. And I want you to know that without you, our school site, the physical plant, the facility, feels like nothing. It has no heartbeat, no personality. It doesn't speak to me like it usually does. I notice a silence there that is overwhelming, to the point where I only now come on campus if I absolutely have to. That's why today it's such a great joy to be back at Costa with you. Now our campus has life again. And it's critical to know that. And it's been a learning experience for me to realize that what I thought was a place that had inherent life is not true. Our campus only has a soul and a spirit and a mind and a voice when you're all there. I wish today we could be all together, all of us, on the field at the same time, or on the campus at the same time. That day will come soon enough, and we will plan something amazing for all of you seniors to come back and experience. I think a class of 2020 only event in the new gym would be a great way to get next year started. We will see what history has in store for us. So much has happened in our world since this year began. In some ways, the world is a scarier place, but in some ways, the world is better. While I feel we have some tough times ahead, I'm hopeful for our future. My hope is based on my observations of all of you this year, especially the last 3 months. While the world is quarantined and isolated, you seniors found ways to share your joy with others. I have witnessed countless acts of kindness, from reaching out to someone struggling, to helping loved ones who have fallen ill, to posting your music and art online, to working harder than ever to reach a worthy goal, to using your voices as an instrument of change with a message of unity, to giving back and paying forward. I've seen you show up when it really mattered. My faith in you fuels my hope for the future. I've stood among you while you taught me how to organize my thinking and commit to being more kind and to seeing first the humanity in others. As much as I think I know in my advanced years, you've all taught me that my learning is only beginning. I'm excited about what you'll be able to teach my generation in the near future and in the distant future. Whatever you do, seniors, never lose the fire of momentum you have sparked in the last 3 months. It is exceptional. It is easy to think that the world will never be the same. That's fair. What I hope for you is that you use your voices to define what becomes different, the what that becomes different, but also holding on to the good that you see around you. The world can be a beautiful place, and it's important to find that beauty wherever you can. The world is definitely different in the sense that it's smaller. I admire you seniors for your global perspective and a fierce determination to lead us into the next decade. We have progressed with you as adults from raising you to now being eager to follow you. So lead, be better than us, who helped you get to this point. Do it better. Be better leaders. Be better humans. And although I wish I could stand among all of you today together, and I know that's not possible, but I love that we fought for it together. That's pretty cool. And I hope your takeaway is this. Although we, your teachers, counselors, coaches, even though we can't stand among you on this historic day, we will always stand with you. Your class, this class, the graduating class of 2020, you are truly historic. Thank you. Now we are honored to hear from the president of our Board of Education here in Manhattan Beach Unified School District, Ms. Jennifer Cochran.
A very warm hello to the class of 2020, their parents, grandparents, and all those who support them today. I know this is a strange way to be addressing you all, and I wish as much as everyone else that we could all be in the stadium together, celebrating your graduation. But please know that just because we aren't able to see you all process in here together, we're no less proud of your accomplishments or honored to be awarding you your diplomas. Graduates, you start out learning from your parents and your families at a very young age. By the time you enter school, you've already learned so much about the world around you. 13 years of school follows, where your job is to learn from the adults in your life. Your amazing teachers, mentors, coaches, advisors, tutors, parents, etc. We all take that job very seriously, and we want to make sure that you learn everything you possibly can to set you up for success as you go out into the world. However, what I've noticed in the last few months is just how much we have all learned from you. Your world was turned upside down. You couldn't go to school, you couldn't play your sports, you missed amazing performance opportunities, competitions, and celebrations. You couldn't socialize with your friends. Yet, you persisted. You went to class, at the kitchen table, or sitting on the steps for a little privacy. You did it with Google Docs and Zoom and group chats. You wrote papers, you did experiments in virtual labs, and you made music together. You made it look easy, and you taught us how to use so many of the virtual communication tools. We are inspired by your determination and your persistence. In addition, our nation has agonized over the death of George Floyd and the systemic racism that persists. We've all been doing a lot of self-reflection. From watching and listening to your generation, I realize just how much we have already learned and what we still have to learn from you. You have challenged us to examine our own actions or lack of actions, to examine our implicit biases. You've spoken out, you've acted, and you will be the ones to create change. We will all continue to learn from you. 2020 has been a challenging year so far, for sure, and your high school graduation will forever be marked by these historic events. But as a result, we've realized just how much our world needs you. We will learn from you, and you will be responsible for teaching the next generation. Know that you will never stop learning, just as all of us who have been teaching you your whole life can attest to. Be curious about what you don't know, continue to teach us what you do, and make your mark on this world. I know that it's our job as a school district to teach you, and I hope we've done that. But I want to say with all sincerity, thank you for teaching us how to grow and how to become better people. Congratulations, class of 2020. We celebrate you and we wish you all the best.
One of the principal's most solemn duties is the annual certification of the graduating class during commencement. We welcome here today Jennifer Cochran, President of the Manhattan Beach Unified School District Board of Trustees, and Senior Class President Finn Condren. Ms. Cochran, I present to you the members of the class of 2020 and certify that they have met all of the academic requirements established by the state of California and by the Manhattan Beach Unified School District and are now candidates for diploma. They have distinguished themselves on site, remotely, through state and national standardized tests, and have proven in every way worthy for this certification. Therefore, I present to you the scholars of Miracosta High School who comprise the graduating class of 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Dale. Finn Condren, Senior Class President, it is my distinct honor and privilege on behalf of the Manhattan Beach Unified School District Board of Trustees to accept the class of 2020 and certify them to receive diploma.
On behalf of the class of 2020, I accept with gratitude the education we have received over the past 13 years and the diploma that the class has been granted.
Congratulations,
Congratulations,
class of 2020.